first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, appreciate you joining us. We are live streaming on our social media channels, Facebook and YouTube, so you can always drop in comments on there. We're also on our apps, and of course, we're on the website, so plenty of places to find us. And we're starting today off talking about something that happened yesterday and this morning. And we're talking about Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler announcing that he is not going to seek a third term once this term is done. However, that does not mean he is not going to stay on. So he is going to stay on for the rest of this term. And this morning there was a press conference where he talked about some of the things that he has accomplished, some things he wants to do, and really the state of everything. And thankfully we have our own Connor McCarthy, who was there covering all of this as always. And Connor, it's always really great to have you here on the show. And I know, you know, you go out to these events, which there's a lot that goes on at this. I know you boil it down so it all makes sense for everybody, but there's a lot that happens during these things, and that's what we kind of wanted to talk about. And I think maybe to start off, can you give us the general idea of what this press conference was this morning?
Yeah, so this press conference was the mayor reiterating in that letter that he released to the public yesterday that he's not going to seek a third term as the leader of the Rose City. And with that, he also emphasized that, you know, this is not going to be a lame duck period for the city. He says he's committed to addressing all the crises that are impacting the city: gun violence, the homeless crisis, the drug crisis, the addiction crisis, all of the crises that are intersecting in the city. He's committed to addressing, and he laid out policies and new programs that he's going to propose over the next 15 months while he's still in office. And he also talked about, you know, this is a critical moment for the city. We're about to have a new form of government in 2025, completely brand new, at least what I've seen, something new across the country that we haven't seen in a big city like Portland. So this is a very important moment for Portland.
Yeah, that changing of the government really is. I know we've covered it a little bit here on Fox 12 Now, and even covering it, it's still a little bit confusing on exactly how that's going to work, and I feel like they're still even working a lot of that out. But yeah, huge moment, and so to even have the leadership change right then is, you know, whether you're a fan of Mayor Wheeler or not, and certainly people have their strong opinions about him, you know, that is going to be one more thing to throw into the mix there when this happens.
No, definitely. I mean, a lot of the programs and services that have been offered through the city, especially to tackle all these issues plaguing Portland right now, they're going to have to be transferred under a city administrator. And I compare it to a big corporation. So Portland's going to transition to having the board of directors, which is the city council and the mayor, overseeing the business, which will be the city administrator and all of the city departments. And so trying to get everything into this new structure is going to be a challenge, not only for the mayor as he's trying to, you know, step out of the role, but also for the city council to figure out where each department goes. There's a lot of undertaking right now.
What was the general feel at the meeting as far as, you know, did he seem like he was maybe lamenting not running for another term? What was his spirits like? Like, what was the kind of general idea there?
So he was very upbeat. What he told the press was, you know, if I stepped into campaign mode, then all my focus cannot be on the city of Portland. He was saying that, you know, running for an election takes so much time and energy, and he didn't feel it was appropriate to be focusing even a portion of his energy towards a campaign. He just wants to focus all of his energy on trying to tackle the problems in Portland.
Did he, I mean, I'm guessing he didn't, but just to ask, did he address any of the, you know, possible people who are out there asking for him to just resign and go away? Because there's certainly a lot of initiative for that we've seen in public comments. Did he address anything like that at all?
No, he didn't address anything like that, and no questions were brought up about him just resigning. I just think the consensus in the room was, right now, we need a leader. If he resigns, then there is basically a leadership hole that needs to be filled for 15 months. And so many programs and initiatives that have started, having that power gap would not be beneficial for the city.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right, it is a lot of things. I'm taking a look here. I've got his statement from yesterday here with me, but talking about the development of the focused intervention team, the comprehensive homeless temporary alternative shelter sites, street services coordination center, 90-day reset strategy, like just a whole bunch of different things and initiatives that he's started or is a part of. So yeah, continuing on with those will certainly seems like that would be a lot for somebody brand new to just step into that and tackle all those, because as we know, Portland has its issues, and there's a lot of different ways that people are trying to solve those. But this would be that would be a big change. So looking at it though, he's got, I believe it's 15 months. Is that what it is?
Yes, 15 months. Yeah.
15 months left. So he's got that amount of time to do this. But then taking a look even beyond that, as far as who else would be running for mayor, for what I understand, it's only Mingus Maps so far. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Mingus Maps is the only one to express his interest and actually file to be a candidate for mayor. So we'll see who else decides to step up, because basically there's not an incumbent running for office, and historically in politics the incumbent always has an upper hand, and when there's a wide open race, then that's when a lot of people throw their hat in the ring. And Portland, a lot of activism, a lot of political interest amongst Portlanders. I'm sure there'll be a lot more candidates beyond Mingus Maps who want to be mayor.
Right. Yeah, I could imagine this is going to have a lot of people applying. I mean, certainly we'll see here over the next probably few months, I would guess, that some more people will start throwing it in as they start ramping up for these elections. But I mean, it's proving it's going to be definitely a big election no matter how you look at it, but certainly going to have a lot of people, I would imagine, competing for this one. Now, for Mayor Wheeler, did you ask him anything else or get a chance to talk to him just one-on-one?
Yeah, so I did ask him if he has reflected over the last 7 years being in office, and if he regrets anything, and if there's any decisions that he's made that didn't go the way he wanted, didn't impact the way that he hoped it would on Portlanders in a positive way. And what he told me was, now's not the time to look back and to think things in retrospect. He's just committed on trying to finish out these initiatives and leave his successor a better city than it is now. And when he, took office, that's his main goal right now. And said eventually there'll be a time where he'll step back and think about his tenure as the mayor. But he said right now it's just not the time.
Well, I guess that's not a surprising answer, but I'm really glad you asked that question, though, because that is an important question to find out about that. Anything else that you took away from this, just for going forward?
I think the biggest thing I took away, especially for important for everyone at home, is this is going to be a very critical election year for the city. Not only is there going to be a new form of government, but we have to elect basically triple a lot more counselors, 12 total counselors now instead of 4, and a new mayor. And they're going to be running this whole form of government that is brand new to the city, that all the city bureaus, all the staff members, the bureaucracy is not used to. So this is a very important time in Portland, and a very important time for Portlanders to get out and vote in next year's election.
It is, I would say, and even covering some, like I said on here, covering some of this new form of government, and even how the city is being divided up into the different coordinates. And I mean, there's so much that's going to impact so many people, and it's a lot to understand. But this is, if you've never been involved in local politics, whatever your beliefs are, this is probably the time to really pay attention.
Yes, definitely.
Because it's going to be changing. So you might want to follow along with it. Well, Connor, thank you very much, for joining us. I know you've got lots of other coverage that's going to be coming up on this as well as we go throughout the day, and we get more responses from people. And for those of you watching live, of course, you can always drop in your comments on Facebook and YouTube and watch on whatever platform that you are on. We appreciate that. But Connor, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.
And for everybody joining in, again, this is Fox 12 Now, so we do get to have these moments where we get to take a deeper dive on some of the stories that you're seeing on our other newscasts, that you're seeing, online, and we get to actually talk to our reporters who are out there, who are on the ground covering this, listening to Mayor Wheeler in this case, and getting to ask questions like that. So this is a great way to just find out more information. So if there ever is a news story that we're covering that you would like to have a deeper dive on, feel free to reach out, and we can see if we can get them here on Fox 12 Now. So send me an email, fox12now@kptv.com. But we do have a lot more coverage coming up here for today's show. In just a few minutes, I'm going to be talking to Gene Edwards of the Edwards Center. Now, this is a center that's been around for 50 years here in Portland, helping out people with disabilities. This is part of a series where we're covering a lot of the nonprofits that are helping out the community here in the area, in Oregon, Washington even. And so that's coming up. at 1:45-ish p.m. today. I'm going to be joined by Eric G. from Around the House Northwest, and we're going to be talking about preparing your house for disasters. Not necessarily a topic you always want to think about, but it's better to think about now than when it's too late. So this is how to make sure that you have everything that you need just in case something were to happen. And that will also be live on Facebook, so you can ask Eric questions if you want to. So again, wherever you're watching us, this is where we're going to be here for the next hour. I'm going to take just a quick break to reset and get our next interview set up, and I will be right back. So stick around. I'll talk to you in just a couple of minutes. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.